Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to Movie Mornings. I am your host, Sam Martino, and today we're going to be talking about Jurassic World Dominion, directed by Colin Trevarrow. It is the final installment, so it seems, in the Jurassic Park franchise, so I'm excited to talk about it. I definitely have some thoughts on this movie. If you guys have seen my non-spoiler review, you guys know where I stand for sure. I also know where Jose stands on the movie. We had a phone conversation, very brief phone conversation upon seeing the movie. But before we get started today, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit the bell for notifications. Sitting with me is Mr. Jose Espinel. I already kind of gave that away, but hey, buddy, how's it going?
Good. I'm doing really good. I'm pretty excited to talk about this movie and spoiler details. As Dom says, he knows where I stand, and I'm excited to share it here and have a divided conversation, but a conversation nonetheless here with Dom. So
Yeah, and it's cool, guys. I said it in my non-spoiler review. You know, there's going to be things I said in there that a lot of people are going to pick up on, and they're going to be like, I think I might like that movie, even though I didn't. And they're going to run with that and go see the movie. And I hope by all means they do. If they hear the things I say and disagree with me, I hope they do go see the movie, you know, but there's going to be a lot of other people that aren't going to like the things I said in my non-spoiler and not see the movie, and I save them some money. That's the point of what we do here. And I'm excited to talk with Jose as well, because honestly, I'm happy that he liked the movie. I don't root for my friends to go see a movie and dislike it. So for the ones that did see it and liked it, great. I mean, it's kind of a split movie, actually. Like, with the general consensus, it's been very split. So for the people that went to go see it and liked it, that they had the better deal out of this, honestly, because for me, I did feel like it was a waste of money, and that's unfortunate. But we're going to talk about more of the reasons why, and I did kind of mention in my non-spoiler, I had a very hard time reviewing it because a lot of my problems do contain spoilers, and I really had a hard time giving a non-spoiler reason. And I said, kind of as a disclaimer at the beginning, like, a lot of you guys are going to be very confused as to why I actually dislike this movie without kind of going in depth. So this is where we're going to be doing that here, and I'm just stoked to talk about it, honestly, because I just want to get a lot of this stuff off my chest in this official spoiler review that we're doing here today. So I do want to talk to Jose, your overall thoughts on the movie, and, you know, kind of things you liked about it, and maybe a non-spoiler way to start with. And yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
There's certain shots in this movie that honestly I loved so much. The cinematics in this, the sound, of course, always great to hear the dinosaurs, and the scores as well. I mean, I really did enjoy as well throughout this movie. What else? I don't know, I guess just the overall story of the movie too. I mean, there were bits, of course, that I didn't like. I felt like were kind of dragged and just could have been, I don't know, maybe less time than what they actually went for. But for the most part, I enjoyed the storyline that they went with this movie.
Yeah, and I could see, and I'm gonna give my non-spoiler thoughts, and we'll get right into spoilers, because I could see you're having the same issue I am, because there is so much plot in this movie that it's really hard to not talk about when we're going into our opinion on it. But really quick, reiteration of my non-spoiler: didn't like the movie at all. I actually found this to be an embarrassing outing for Colin Trevarrow, and that upsets me because he's a guy I really admire a lot as a director. There are things I definitely did like. Some of the shots, I'll agree with Jose on that. There are certain shots that I did enjoy. The sound design is not an issue. The score is not an issue here. So things like that I definitely enjoyed. The cast is not an issue either. The cast did a really good job. My problems mainly come down to writing and plot, a convoluted plot. So that's kind of what we're going to go into here. So let's get this out of the way, man. I mean, you know, spoiler wise, we're going into it. You guys have been warned. So
Yep.
Look, man, I'm gonna start kind of here, because I'll just kind of, I think the best way to approach this is to kind of walk it through how I started having issues with this movie. So it actually starts for me very early on, and I'll kind of explain to you why it really happens, because the beginning of the movie starts with this narration, more or less, with the and it's kind of like a newscast in a way, right, where they're talking about this is the state of the world, which, don't get me wrong, on one end, I do want to see the state of the world. You know, I want to know where things are at this point, because as we know from Fallen Kingdom, and by the way, I don't like Fallen Kingdom, but thought it was a great setup that dinosaurs were now going to be walking the earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I loved what that set up, and I thought that movie, to me, when I saw that setup, that writes itself, in my opinion. That was what I was thinking. And so when this movie started, I was very bummed in a way, and actually felt like the movie wrote itself into a corner when that lady was narrating, and we saw the woman, and to me, she was not a good actress. Like, I don't think she sold me on being a news broadcaster. So that was problem number one. Then number two, the other part of that is the movie has a big problem to me, because when I think about Jurassic Park, like the original masterpiece, Steven Spielberg, we had a discussion on it. Go check it out, folks. When I think about that film, I think about how we were talking about the awe and the wonder of the dinosaurs when we see them, and how like magnificent that was, because it just felt like something that was, I'm trying to think of the right word, something that was, that like dreams were made of. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not the best way to put it, but like when we're seeing that, because we're seeing that through Dr. Grant's, right? And Ellen, I'm sorry. We're seeing that through their eyes of these dinosaurs, like we never thought we'd see this in a million years. It's got that element to it in the first Jurassic Park. As opposed to here, they decide to put these dinosaurs out in the world, and it's like, yeah, it's cool. We're just kind of used to it now. And it just made the dinosaurs to me feel very normalized, which is kind of where my issues really started with this.
That's fair.
So, yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it takes away the charm and the awe and the wonder of it when they're just,
yeah. But I mean, like at
normal.
this point, I mean, it's 6 movies at this point. Where did you expect the movie? Did you just expect it to be in a park the entire time? I mean,
no, but I think no, I don't want it in a park again. That's what I was saying. Like when Fallen Kingdom ended and dinosaurs are going to be running amok, to me that movie wrote itself, because what you can have is, and I think the time jump honestly hurts it for me, just the time jump in general. Because, and I feel like the only reason they did the time jump is because the young lady got older. Because if she's still at the same age as she is by the end of Fallen Kingdom, we could stay in that same spot. And I feel like that would have made it for a much better plot, because at that point it's like, oh shit, there's dinosaurs everywhere, and we need to figure out how to escape them. I wanted just a great suspense film. That's kind of where I was hoping it would go, as opposed to...
well, this one was more kind of like action type, kind of drama in a sense as well. There's a lot of drama.
I was thinking it would have been a better way to go if it had been more suspense drama, or not more suspense drama, a little drama, but more suspense horror, like the original Jurassic Park. You know, where we're talking about those great scenes with the T-Rex, and when he hits the vehicles, you know, and all that kind of stuff in the first Jurassic Park. That's kind of what I thought this whole movie should have been.
I guess, as I said, there's just really just one particular scene where there's a bit of that aspect of that kind of horror. There is, yeah.
There is a scene like that for sure. And even from there, then you have, then it's like, I'm trying to accept this plot, but then you have Bryce Dallas Howard, who's kind of out there trying to save these things. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Which, again, I'm trying to accept this because the character that Justice Smith played was the only smart character here, because he was like, you can't do this anymore. It's impossible. And he's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's extremely right about the fact that she's not able to do this anymore. And basically, they give him this, like, great job, right? After that,
working for the government, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was the CIA, to be more specific.
Yeah.
And then he goes away. We never revisit him again. And he was the one character in this movie.
Well, as I say, we see him once after the whole kidnapping of that dinosaur. We see him once again, and then that's it. Then we don't see him ever again. Yeah.
They were like, forget about it. And I was like, well, you started to redeem him from Fallen Kingdom for me, but then
I was gonna say, I mean, honestly, I think the one good thing that, in my opinion, the one good thing that Fallen Kingdom did was set up this third movie with the ending. That's about the only good thing that the second movie really did for me.
Right. Yeah, and then
whereas this one, I really just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I enjoyed it a lot more than the second one.
yeah, when Chris Pratt, I told you this on the phone. This is where the laughter started for me
When
because,
he's riding his horse and chasing those dinosaurs.
and you got to sell it. He has to try to sell this. Yeah,
Like a cowboy, like a cowboy.
I couldn't do it, man. I died. Josh was sitting next to me through
I
this
think
thing,
I think I was just in such awe of like the actual chase itself that I just didn't even really pick up on the. I didn't really deep the hee haw that he did or whatever.
Yeah, when it initially came into that scene, I thought the shot was good and the environment was good.
Yeah.
And then until they started cutting to these zoom ins on his face when and I was like out at that point. I was like, that just took me out of everything. And I think that's a lot of this movie for me, is it continuously set up like decent scenes and then did something to take me out of it almost immediately after. That was kind of a lot of my problems here with this movie, that just continuously kept happening. And then the scene with him, Bryce, and the young lady, I can't remember her name. Do you?
The actress? No.
Do you remember the character?
Oh, oh my God, was it?
Yeah, that's
No.
And then so that was Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and oh my God, we're all in a house together, right? And I thought that they could have set up something very sweet and heartfelt with that, right? And
I just remember her last name. I can't remember her first name. Her last name was Lockwood.
Lockwood, you're right. So
Yeah.
they set up that with Lockwood, and I thought that could have been really good stuff. I was like, okay, so they're kind of parenting her. I thought there was a nice bit of heart there, but the scenes with her and Bryce Dallas Howard in the cabin, to me, felt like the shots came out of a straight to TV Lifetime film.
Yeah,
And-
honestly, like those, if there were any scenes in the movie that I felt like were prolonged, could have been shorter with those.
Yeah, and they
I feel
could
like
have been cut without a doubt.
those were a little too. I feel like that's where the movie could have been shorter, as if those scenes would have been, shortened a little bit more.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be that long, honestly.
I thought they could have been cut, and it was nothing per se about the acting. It was just mostly the writing.
The
for me.
writing, yeah,
and the
yeah.
writing and the shooting of it was straight out of a Lifetime film. And this with the movie with this budget, I don't know why that camera came off that way to me. And then they had the dinosaurs and him doing the thing, which is
Yeah.
he didn't do that, but
Yeah, no.
no, he did, but like earlier, but like then he was doing the hand thing, which was the setup for
Oh,
this
that was sick.
scene
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
I didn't mind that. I just thought, I don't know. For me, that again just took me right back into the beginning about like, okay, it's just become this normal thing, and it's taken the awe and wonder out of everything with the dinosaurs.
I mean, at this point, it kind of is, because we're already in the third movie of the Jurassic World installment. It kind of is just like a regular thing now. Really,
Yeah.
it's nothing really special anymore.
I
at
was
this point.
fine with that when it was an amusement park. You know what I'm saying? In the first movie, I think, because that was a great
I
idea.
I kind of liked how he was able to use that. Well, I mean, now in the real world, that dinosaurs are actually living amongst humans. I like how he's actually able to use that to like calm down dinosaurs and kind of get on their side.
And again, overall, I didn't mind that. It was just my mindset of, man, going back to the beginning and just everything they set up. And I wish that maybe the movie would have played better if we'd started right around here. Does that make sense? Like maybe that would have played just a little bit better for myself if we just would have started it right around here, because I just thought everything before this was so ridiculous. So maybe in terms of the way it plays, it could have played better here starting out there. So in general, to me, so when you go into that and then you go from that, and then I felt like Laura Dern's first scene that she had felt a little bit, I don't know why. I don't know if it was the writing or she wasn't comfortable with the script. It just felt there was a discomfort when she was acting in it. And I love Laura Dern. That's, no means an insult to her. It's just her first scene just felt like it was uncomfortable to her. So there was
when she was at the barn talking to the lady. Is that the first scene?
Yeah, that first scene was just it played a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know why.
And her facial expressions, I don't know. She didn't really sell it
right
that
and
well.
And then they set up this. This is where it really started to piss me off. Because then it started to
The bison.
well, you might have liked that. Yeah, like you might have liked this Taken plot that was going on where she
You know,
gets
I did like it. Yeah.
For me, I don't need that in Jurassic Park. Get it out of there. It was so stupid.
Well, I mean, the second movie kind of set that up too, if you really think about it, because like she was kind of like really special to the government. And they're gonna want her for like experiments and shit, so she kind of had to go into hiding.
Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it.
So
I don't mind them going
into
hiding.
What would you have preferred then instead?
Just get rid of it. Get rid of that whole stupid.
Yeah, but then we're gonna put in there instead then.
Just dinosaurs. Make me a dinosaur movie. Have dinosaurs coming after these people and have them running from dinosaurs. Make suspenseful scenes. And again, I'm going to go back into the Bryce Dallas Howard scene where she's going through the swamp. It's incredible.
That's incredibly shot from start to finish. Like as soon as it cut to the part where she was in the chair in the tree, from there to the end of that scene, all shot so well.
That to me is what this whole movie should have been. Like just that suspense, that level.
And that shot of the dinosaur like roaring over over her while she's in the water. That shot alone made the movie, honestly. Like that shot was
great.
Is incredible.
That was great.
That's just props to Colin Trevarrow's directing.
Yeah, it seems like that. It's like, man, that's the Colin Trevarrow I know. Yeah. And there's not a lot of that throughout the movie to me. Like and so like when they set up this plot, it's like, are we really gonna go back down this road with this girl? Because the genetic plot in general is dumb. It's boring. It really is. It's a boring plot. And I found a lot of the movie to drag, especially when we started getting into this stuff. Now, the first scene before we go into that is with Sam Neill and Laura Dern. Fantastic. The first time they're talking
when he goes to her camp or his camp, when they're talking, that was really nice. That was really good.
That scene, I was like, oh, maybe this movie's gonna save itself, because that to me was like Jurassic Park. Like it felt like the actual sequel to Jurassic Park. And I think that's another problem I'm having with this movie throughout it, is there is that end of it with Laura Dern and Sam Neill and Goldblum sometimes whenever he wants, apparently, because he really just steps in and out of this whenever. But when you have Laura Dern and Sam Neill, I was fine with that stuff, because to me that felt like it was almost like Colin Trevorrow was trying to make the actual great sequel to Jurassic Park, right? The original, on that end of it. But then the other half of it with the Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard stuff, they don't go together. They don't mesh. There's two different tones going on. It's like,
because for the most part of the movie, they are just separated.
Yeah,
like they're going their own different ways.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Look at Empire Strikes Back, where you got Luke separated from the rest of the crew. It's great. You just need to make it. To me, it just doesn't mesh. The two things just don't mesh in the same movie. It's almost like there's two different movies. And then I feel like Goldblum was in this whole other movie. Like just
the scenes he was used in, I really did enjoy. Honestly,
I'm glad, because I didn't. And no, because really, I was upset when it's not his acting, it's his writing. Again, I think that him in front of the classroom going on this long diatribe about dinosaurs, on one end I'm like, at least there's dinosaurs being talked about in the way that they might have used to have been in the original Jurassic Park, but the writing to me just pales in comparison so much, and I just thought it felt flat. So when he was giving his whole speech, it just felt really flat, and I don't know. To me, there was something about the way he was doing that, and it was the writing again that just didn't really feel like Dr. Ian Malcolm. Like maybe if I'd seen Dr. Grant in front of a classroom doing that writing, it would have worked for me. But to see Jeff Goldblum and Ian Malcolm doing that writing in front of the classroom didn't work for me. There was just something there that just felt flat.
I mean, that was him in basically all three movies too, just him talking in front of big groups. So it kind of just made sense to me.
Ian Malcolm?
If you remember from the end of the second one, when he's talking about how dinosaurs are not going to be living in the world.
Oh yeah, but I hated his role in that one too. So
I really enjoyed it. That's probably why I enjoyed this part too.
See, I hated what they did with him in that movie too, especially the fact that he was only in there for all of maybe 10 minutes of screen time. So
I mean, that's about how much screen time he got in this movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. And maybe that's just them to me, maybe a lot of what's frustrating me is the carryover from that second movie, because there is a lot that they're carrying over, and I just don't think they needed to. There's so much that to me just could have been ignored from that second movie. And I'm sorry, that movie to me was such trash that I think it could have been ignored. And I think that there was a way to acknowledge it without having to acknowledge it like entirely, because moving past that, and then I don't know, he was talking to that lady, and he said some really stupid stuff, like Ian Malcolm, when he was talking to the lady, and it was like
Who
the
has to
lobby
be the one? Oh, in the lobby.
I don't remember the lines exactly. I just remember them being like bad, like really bad lines.
Which lady?
He goes out there and he talks to a lady. Because you know what it is though? There's so many side characters that get introduced into this movie. I can't remember a damn one of them except for the African-American lady that finally helps out Chris Pratt by the end. Because when they go into that, and I said this in the review, it looks like
the only people I remember him talking to after the lecture was Grant and Ellen.
No, there was some lady he pulled aside and said some really ridiculous, stupid stuff. But
I guess it was that bad I don't remember it.
It was dumb. And then when going back to the Taken plot that's happening, where
that villain dude takes Lockwood and which, by the way, seeing Blue and his kid, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's it? Beta? Is that the kid's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get taken. I get it.
Yeah, no, they do. But then you have this. They walk into this like. It looked like a cantina out of Star Wars.
Honestly, you know what? It reminded me of that black marketplace that I think it was in. Was it in Captain America: Falcon Winter Soldier? Was it in that? Did they end up going? Did they go to a black market place?
In Falcon Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it was that show, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember it was in one of the Marvel shows. They went to like this black market area, and it kind of just reminded me of that. If I'm being honest,
I don't know, but whatever it was, the tone of that, it felt like a Star Wars cantina. I just don't think it fit Jurassic World at all. Or Jurassic Park at all. Like, I don't think it belongs in.
Well, this is Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park. I'm just
well, it don't belong in this franchise. I can tell you that. Like, I
liked it.
I didn't think it belonged, and that's good. But I just didn't think it belonged. That was my other issue. I thought the whole tone of that was stupid. And then the dinosaur chase was terrible because it's just so out in the open. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no.
Well, I mean, I liked it.
There's no suspense anymore.
I liked the chase between Chris Pratt's character and those Velociraptor things that were chasing him.
The motorcycle. I mean, that's the other part of this.
I liked it.
That's the other part of this that stinks to me. This Chris Pratt, he's invincible now. They don't like. There's no repercussions for anything that he does. He's just invincible. He just does it all. I'm tired of it. He goes in that canteen. He gets in that fist fight. Why? Why is he just this like all of a sudden badass fist fighter? Oh yeah, I forgot. In Fallen Kingdom, he was going through punching out motherfuckers left and right, which made no sense. This is so dumb. This is like there's no suspense to it anymore. There's no casualties, repercussions, consequences for the actions.
There are casualties, just not to him.
That's what I mean. Like, to him, we need casualties for him, repercussions for him, consequences for his actions, and he doesn't have any. This movie doesn't take
his actions, bro. What do you mean? He's a good guy. What kind of casualties you want to happen to a good guy?
I want to see him if he's gonna go try to punch somebody because he's just a dinosaur trainer. You would think he'd get punched out real quick. What skills does he have outside of being a dinosaur trainer? Why does he have skills?
You never know. He could have done some behind the scenes like karate or fucking MMA or some shit.
It's never once been mentioned. They just show us that and want us to accept that stuff.
Maybe in the 4 years that he was hiding, he fucking taught himself how to box or some shit. I don't know.
Great. I want to see that movie. Make that. But don't just.
Well, I mean, this is taking place like 4 years after Fallen Kingdom.
Don't
so
put it on.
We have missed a lot.
Don't put it on the screen and expect me to accept it. Just don't, because I'm not going to. That stuff works. That's so ridiculous. I can't even tell you how ridiculous it is. It takes all the suspense out of the film. Honestly, it's just everything's happening right there out in the open. Then the dinosaur is chasing after him on the bike and then hits the pole and then like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
That was with Bryce Dallas Howard in that.
Oh yeah, well, whatever. You're right. It was with Bryce because
I liked her chase with the Velociraptor as well. Honestly, I did like it.
Oh God, I hated it. And the stupid thing. It was honestly, it's not Bryce. It was direction. But when she was jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and then she jumps off the one, and that was so dumb. I was like, that. What kind of execution is this? Like, who decided to have Bryce go like she's some type of fairy now? This is stupid. It looks ridiculous.
One scene with suspense I could remember was the part where Chris Pratt's character was driving his motorcycle to the plane, and like it's lifting off and he has to try and make it. That part, I mean, obviously in the movie he's gonna make it, but that part had me like on edge. It's like, is he actually gonna make it? Is he not? Like, what's about to happen? And then,
okay. Yeah,
like that part had some suspense, and I really enjoyed that scene.
Sure, but I think that didn't that play in like concurrence with Bryce Dallas Howard on the helicopter though. Like it played in parallel with that, if I'm not mistaken, where she was in the helicopter.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And the helicopter's going down, and then the lady's like, "This is one of the dumbest pieces of writing in the movie." The lady says something like, "You got to fly the helicopter now," and Bryce Dallas Howard's just like, "What?" It was, what the hell? Like, what is this writing, man? Like, who's writing this script? It's bad. And then you had that part, I just didn't buy a lot of. They had so many close-ups like that, by the way, where they would just close up on somebody and they go, "What?" or "Run," or shit like that. It was more of the same stupid shit that was in the last one. It was so dumb. I don't know why they think this is good writing or good execution of that writing. It's so funny to me when I see these shots that are just like ridiculous and straight out of a cartoon. There was another one too where I think it was when he was on the motorcycle, they close up on Chris Pratt's face and his eyes bugged out like a fucking cartoon character. It was ridiculous. There were so many things like that throughout this movie scattered that didn't need to be there, that just took me out of scenes that might have actually been okay. I might have actually said this movie was passable if it wasn't for all these little ridiculous shots and lines and shit like that was sprinkled out throughout it. It was so baffling to me. This writing, Dotson's back in this thing. Let's talk about him for a second, because my God, was he terrible. He was terrible.
Who's that again?
Dotson from the first movie. They recast him, but because Ian Malcolm says Dotson. That's the only reason you know it's him, because he points at him and says Dotson, which is a dumb way to reveal that it's Dotson. And who the hell wanted to see him back?
It's talking about the villain in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was. He was the one and only character I did not like in this movie.
He was, the writing was piss poor. He gets angry at the one part and he's, what the hell? What the hell? And I've seen that guy in other movies where he's not that bad of an actor. It's the direction, man. I'm like, that's how you get mad? That's how you get mad?
I think for me, I liked the cinematography and like directing of this movie. I just didn't like the writing. So like I think the directing and cinematography of this movie kind of outweighed the writing, in my opinion, which is why I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. There's another part too. I don't even remember what happened. I think they breached like the door to the lab at one point or something, and then the Dotson guy is just like, no. That's a line in this movie. He goes, no. That somebody wrote this. Somebody wrote this.
Hold on.
This is terrible.
I want to see who wrote this movie.
I think Trevarrow wrote it, and that's what's scary to me. I'm pretty positive he wrote the movie.
It was a co-writing with this lady called, her name's Emily Carmichael. Emily Carmichael.
Well, maybe it's her fucking fault. I don't know, but that line, when I heard that, I was like, somebody wrote that on a page and he said that. Somebody wrote that on a page. That was a line in this movie. What the hell? Now, I don't know. I don't even know if it was that cool. Now, when Dotson died, and he died the same way
I loved
as
it.
Newman in the last one, it was really a parallel to Newman in the last one. I was like, okay, that's fun. But you finally get this packed together, this team together. The chemistry is fine, but there's so much happening. You can't keep up with everything that's happening.
When the dinosaur, when that gigantic, whatever the fuck its name is, I can't remember what the name of that dinosaur is. Gigantal, whatever the fuck it's called. When that dinosaur is like closing in on the protection for the stairs to Lockwood, when the dinosaur was doing that, that was a pretty cool scene. I like that one. That had me kind of like suspense. And then when Jeff Goldblum was basically sacrificing himself when he put that that locust on the stick. I actually like that. I thought it was pretty funny.
It's fucking stupid decisions like that I can't handle. Why? Why him?
What do you mean why him? He was the one under the car.
Yeah, because everybody else ran away. Did you not catch that? Everybody else runs.
Because everyone else was able to run away because he was the one closest to the dinosaur. So his only option of escape was going under the car.
I guess it was just like, how did that be? That situation again, it creates no suspense. You have an under the car scene and you create no suspense with it.
I was gonna say you could have had the dinosaur shake that car up or something. You know, like you could have had some more dinosaur action.
Because the only guy down there doesn't even want to be in this fucking movie, so he's not acting at all, like in any kind of way. And all
is that why he had barely any screen time in these two movies, because he didn't want to be in them?
I don't think he wants. I wouldn't want to if I read this script. If I'm Jeff Goldblum, are you kidding me? And the other,
so I'm guessing it's the money that brought him back then.
It has to be. And his lines, I'm telling you, I don't even think he had a script, because his lines were everything I was thinking as the disappointed audience member. Boy, I don't really like Jurassic World. Oh, great, we can get the thing and go home now, right? That's like
his best scene when Dodson was telling him to leave. That was his best scene. When he was like when he was yelling at all the employees, like that was his best scene. Honestly, I really like that scene. That was my favorite scene from him.
Yeah, that wasn't terrible. That was good. I'll give you that one, because you're right. He did kind of step up and do some real acting in that.
Yeah,
like there was an actual script to that. I'll give you that. But again, it's in the juxtaposition of Dodson, who's a terrible character. So you have this poor balance of it. It's like his one good scene. He's doing it with this Dodson who I don't even care about in this movie. And then you have the other one.
Oh my gosh. When Dodson finds out that black guy betrayed him, that whole scene was so funny. Oh my gosh, bro. There was like barely any talking in that scene.
Yeah.
Like Dodson repeats himself like 4 times in that scene.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I know. Honestly, I don't know who wrote that and thought, that's some good
that's what I'm saying, man.
That's some good writing right there.
The script, it's like who looked at that and said that was good and we're good to go?
Well, obviously Colin Trevarrow.
Yeah, he's completely to blame here. Don't get me wrong.
Emily Carmichael as well, because she was also part of the screenwriting.
I respect him as a filmmaker, but man, I'm blown away.
Yeah, I don't think screenwriting is his thing. I think he should just stick to directing.
I read the Duel of the Fates script. Screenwriting is definitely his thing.
Well, yeah, that is true. Actually,
yeah, he's a great screenwriter. He has no issue screenwriting. Right. I just think everybody has a bad day at the office, and this was his. That's my take on this. I really think he had a bad day at the office here, because it stinks, this whole movie. And when he, the other one that Jeff Goldblum said was when he was like, "You made a promise to a dinosaur," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's ridiculous."
he's like, "What's that on your shoulder?" And he's like, "Is that a dinosaur on your shoulder?" And then Chris Pratt is like, "Yeah."
Yeah. He was the most entertaining part of the movie to me, because I was with him. I'm like, "Yeah, Jeff, you see how ridiculous this is getting? I'm glad you do, because this is getting out of hand." And it was like, this franchise has gone so over the top. It's Fast and Furious now.
It's a good thing that this is the last one, and they're not going to keep going like Fast and Furious.
Oh my god! So you think?
Yeah, true. If this movie makes enough money, they'll probably make a 4th.
They're going to cross over with Fast and the Furious before you know it, because they don't know what the hell they're doing over there either. Like,
it's gonna be called Fast and Furious: Return of the Dinosaurs.
And damn it, I'll watch it. But
same. Honestly, same.
I'll watch it, but I don't need it.
Or Jurassic World Too Fast.
I don't know.
And Furious.
It's either gonna be that, or there's gonna be a new trilogy. It's gonna be like Jurassic Age, or Which
Jurassic Age.
I'll be honest, I might be too busy to go see that one when that comes.
It's gonna be called. It's gonna be called Jurassic Ends.
God. Yeah, that'll come after Jurassic Age, after the Jurassic Age trilogy.
It's gonna be no, it's gonna be Jurassic Age, Jurassic Kills, and Jurassic Ends.
Let me ask you about this ending, this so-called ending. We haven't even gotten to bugs yet. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Oh my gosh, the fucking locusts.
Let me ask you about this so-called ending. I know you like this movie, and that's fine, and you like what you like, and you like it proud. I'm just wondering.
Hey, I'm not the only one. Dave's with me too.
I know
so.
you're not. And 79% of the rest of the audience, so you're fine. Like what you like.
Dave just put simple is considered copying these days. He responded to your thing about like when they used to be simpler.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's not wrong, but
simple is considered copying. I would like him to elaborate on that point, but I don't know what he means by that. Simple is considering copying. Okay, I see what he's saying. No, he's not wrong. No, I get that. Anyway, so as you hit your mic there, I was gonna ask you about the ending, because you can't tell me that this makes any sense. Like
I like the ending. I thought it was very emotional. I actually really enjoyed it.
All right, so on one end, I understand, because we talked about this in the Jurassic Park discussion, right? Where we talked about Hammond's ideas were kind of filled with good intentions, but they were so stupid when he was saying humans and dinosaurs need to coexist. That was his whole idea.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And this movie honors that by the end of it. That's what I'm saying. But it's dumb, because they solve nothing at the end of this movie. You are at the same spot at the end of this movie that you were in the beginning of this movie, because we just decided to coexist with them as best we could. You went nowhere.
Bro, 2 hours and a half of
2 hours
and
40 minutes, and that's where we got. It just would have made more sense. I said this in the non-spoiler. I would have rather seen all these main characters just get eaten, honestly, because that is so much more believable.
Because if they really wanted this to be the end of the Jurassic franchise, they would have ended it like that.
That would have been more believable. Honestly, go live on Mars. Instead of
them getting eaten by dinosaurs, we just see a fight between 3 dinosaurs and them escape.
That was stupid too, because that had nothing to do with anything. They threw that fight in there so we can have here's some dinosaur stuff for you, for the folks. If you're getting sick,
it was the end and death of the strongest, most dangerous dinosaur in their world, and it was done by a T-Rex and whatever the fuck that other blind dinosaur was.
Apex predators, Jose. This is what we're talking about. They are living in this world with apex predators. You could kill the strongest one. It ain't gonna make no difference when you're living in a world with
I guess
all these others.
True, but when it comes to food, like the scene where the T-Rex got fucked by that gigantic dinosaur and he couldn't have his food, I guess it kind of makes sense in that sense.
I just don't know what it had to do with anything. It was like, in case you're getting tired of bugs, here's a scene of dinosaurs fighting. It was cool.
Bro, the whole bug thing was so fucking dumb, bro. That was my least favorite thing of this entire fucking movie.
There's more of those than dinosaurs in the movie, though. Come on. I mean, there is. You can't deny it.
I mean, there's more bugs in it, but there's not more scenes with the bugs.
I'll grant this. I mean, I guess the bugs are smaller, so you can have more, and you can have an abundance of them. But I think there are more scenes of bugs. I don't know.
No,
I felt like it, because the ones with bugs just dragged on and on and on and on. Oh my god, dude, the scene in the lab when they're running, and I don't even know what kind of shot this was. I don't know what happened. Did he forget his line, or Sam Neill just walks right up to the camera and just goes, and then he runs the other way? Did he forget his line?
What scene is that?
They were in the lab. They were getting out.
Who's they?
It was.
Are you talking about Ellen and Grant?
And Lockwood. Yeah, they were all in the lab. They go running, and then they go right up to the camera. I don't know if he had a line.
Oh no, he was pausing because they heard footsteps, and then they turned the other way because it was Dodson's footsteps that were or someone's footsteps that were coming closer towards them.
So
and they started running the other direction because they heard the footsteps. They didn't want to get caught.
Let me get this straight. They were directing these actors, and they said, I have a good idea. We're going to put a camera at the end of the hallway. Run up to the camera and then pretend like you heard the footsteps.
What, did you not hear the footsteps in the movie?
And your reaction is going to be, and then head the other way. That's your
execution. Because he was doing that because he heard the footsteps, and he was trying to tell Ellen and Lockwood that there was footsteps coming.
It doesn't make it look any better. It doesn't make the shot look any better. It doesn't glamour it up any.
I don't think that's supposed to be such a glamorous shot anyways. It's just them running away from footsteps. I mean,
I saw Jurassic Park from 1993. Every shot in that is glamorous. There's no room for mistakes anymore for me. Like when you do stupid shit like that, and if that was like the one in this movie, I might be like, that looked weird. That was the one, but it's time and time again. It just constantly keeps happening throughout this movie. There are so many dumb shots like that scattered throughout here. That
I mean, we forgot to talk about the ice scene.
Ice scene. All right, let's talk about the ice scene for a second. Okay.
Which I liked. I mean,
started cool, ended terribly because
what you mean they escaped from a dinosaur? What more did you want?
A bad CGI dinosaur, a dinosaur with terrible CGI. The dinosaur with his mouth wide open. Terrible.
It's trying to break through the thing and eat them.
But it looks so bad. It looks so bad. It looked like it came out of, I don't know,
Jurassic Park, the original.
No, it did not. Don't go there. I don't care if you like this movie. Don't go there because no, that was terrible. That was terrible. And the way it's a lot of it came down to the angles they decided to shoot some of these fucking things where they were just, oh my God. Straight on, just like through the cage was right there, and this thing.
I mean, there was a bit of suspense in that scene too, where you thought that Chris Pratt's character was going to get eaten by the dinosaur.
I'll give you that. That was one of the other good. As far as suspense goes, that was one of the good ones. But again, ruined just immediately by terrible CGI, terrible camera work. I was just like,
I just never noticed the CGI because of how intense those scenes were for me.
Yeah. I mean, I love the CGI in the Bryce one. I thought that looked great. Everything about that scene looked great. Like in the Bryce.
Oh, when she was in the swamp. Yeah.
Everything about that CGI looked great. So it irritates me even more when things like that pop up because you showed me you had the capabilities. You just didn't execute it throughout the entire thing of making these.
That dinosaur shots. That dinosaur was blind, right?
That dinosaur, I believe so, was blind. Yeah.
Yeah, because his eyes were like white.
Yeah, that scene, fantastic.
And the dinosaur also would have seen her if he wasn't blind.
Yeah, I had Josh laughing so hard because that scene popped up, and I turned. I was like, "Finally, a scene!" And he just died.
There were other good scenes in this movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
The other one that I'll give you, actually, that was really good, is when they were in the cave. And then they were like taking I think it was a torch, and they would like light it. No, the flashlight. I think every hole they would put the flashlight in, there was like a dinosaur like popping out of it. That was good. That scene.
Yeah, the CGI for those dinosaurs weren't the best either, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but that scene was good at least.
It was funny too when Jeff Goldblum was trying to figure out the fucking passcode for the thing, and they were just struggling to keep that dinosaur back.
Oh
and then he puts in the code, and it turns out to be the black guy that puts in the right code. He's like, "Oh, it finally worked."
That's my other question though. When did these characters become buffoons? They made them buffoons. You can't deny that. They're all stupid in this movie. All of them. Like, when did that happen? They were all smart in the first one.
4 years of solitude. That's what made them dumb.
It must have been it. Like, honestly, they weren't hitting the books as much or something. Because I can't think of another explanation. They made them all buffoons. At one point or another, they all do something really dumb in this movie, and that really irritated me as well. You know, the other scene that I will say this, I'll admit to this one, and I think it's stupid, but I liked it. As stupid as this one scene I'll mention here was, I liked it. When they were all holding out the hands to back off the dinosaurs, or it was really Lockwood and Sam Neill, Dr. Grant.
Oh, you're talking about when he was trying to shoot Beta in the neck? Yeah, that was sick.
As dumb and as ridiculous as that is as a concept, I'll take that one. I liked it. I had fun with that. I'll admit to that one. That was the only other one. As stupid as ridiculous as it is.
I also like the scene when they were all inside that like building and they were backing off that giant dinosaur. I like that too. I liked how they did that and executed that. When they like stabbed it in the eye and like and shot it with something. I think it was.
Yeah, again, that was another one where it was like, yeah, it was okay. I guess I'll give you that one. That one was all right. Yeah, it was all right. I don't know, man. Look, at the end of the day, this was just a waste of time to me. Like I felt like
that's how I felt about the second one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, the second movie was a waste of time.
I guess we could just all agree that the first one is probably the best one.
I'll agree.
Yeah.
I like that first one a lot.
Yeah.
I put it on after I got home still. Like, it didn't ruin the franchise. It just... Why? And that was my whole thing, is why.
Like, it looks like it's the same thing with Jurassic Park. The first one's the best. The first Jurassic Park's the best. The first Jurassic World's the best.
Yeah, I just think that they know this franchise hits its stride when it's simple. That's my point. Like, I think that was the point I was trying to make when I messaged in the group chat earlier, when I said that this franchise, I want simplicity. It used to be simple, and this franchise works best when it's simple. They don't.
And, and the first Jurassic World was pretty simple.
Yeah, it was a good concept because you had this. I get it was on a grander scale. You can be simple.
I was gonna say it was
really
on a grander scale. It's really just a bigger. I'm not gonna say better. It was just like a bigger, grander Jurassic Park in a way.
Yeah,
it was a way bigger park than Jurassic Park. Had more dinosaurs and just it was basically just a newer version of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but it also had that, like, it had good plot twists. It gave us some great new characters. That first Jurassic World, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gave us, it had a really good plot, great characters. It had
a good dinosaur fight as well.
It had new dinosaurs too, so it didn't feel like a carbon copy of the original either. It managed to be simple while not feeling like a carbon copy of what the original was. It just kept the spirit of the original, and that's why I like Jurassic World a lot, because it's Dr. Hammond's whole idea of what if this was an amusement park. It's a great concept for a plot. You know what I'm saying? And then Fallen Kingdom, I don't even know what that was. And
that was some. I don't know what the fuck.
I will give this movie this. I understand at least what this movie was trying to do. Unlike Fallen Kingdom, I at least can understand what this movie was trying to do and trying to be.
So would you still say it's worse than the second one?
I don't know. Because the thing that irritates me more about this one than the second movie
is the writing.
No, honestly, the writing was bad in the last one, but
True.
The thing that irritates me more about this one is because this one shows me it's capable from time to time. And that's, I think, irritated me even more, because when it shows me it's capable, it just makes me feel like the rest of it was lazy, you know, and that they just got lazy with it.
It's like for every nicely shot scene, there's like 2 or 3 really bad scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe even more, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. And, you know, I think that, I don't know. The Jurassic World could have just ended there, and it just had been it. It was a really good reboot, and then there you go. You could have ended it there for me.
With the first one?
Yeah, I don't think it needed more after that. I think that's where they failed.
I mean, yeah, after watching these two, I think it could have just ended after the first one.
Yeah.
Even with the bad ratings that the second one got, it still made $1 billion somehow.
No, and I'm speaking for myself here, because these movies continuously make money.
Do you think this one will make $1 billion?
It might. It really might. It has a really good shot at that. I mean, historically, that's been the case for these. So yeah,
and it's rated. It's not rated better critics wise from the second one, but it is rated a lot better audience wise.
Yeah, exactly.
The last one. So
yeah, I don't know that I think it's worse than the second movie. I think if you're looking at it a little bit more objectively, it's definitely a little bit better.
I'd go first, then third, and then second for me.
I think that's where I'm standing too at this point. It's just, again, when I look at it a little bit more subjectively, it just irritates me when the movie shows me it is capable of being good and then it doesn't do that.
Yeah, whereas the second one didn't even really show that it's capable. It was just bad all around.
Okay, it has Sam Neill in it.
I guess the best. I guess the best. It's the scene that I really just always remember from the second one that I really did enjoy was the scene of them in the spheres running away from the dinosaurs. I think that was probably my favorite part from the second one, which is really the only scene that I
I think the first 30 minutes of the second movie isn't the worst thing I've ever seen out of one of these, and then the rest of it just went to shit.
Yeah.
But this movie, I at least saw where they were trying to take the plot. Like, I definitely saw what the goal was, I guess, a little bit more here, with the exception of, I mean, I get it, but like, I don't, because the competing genetic scientists is just a dumb plot. You don't need them in the movie. I know you were telling me you enjoyed the fact that the BD Wong kind of explained to her about her mother and all that.
I did. Yeah, I thought that was very emotional. I really did enjoy all that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for me. I just don't give a shit about Lockwood, so I'm not gonna like those scenes. I didn't give a shit about her in the last one. I don't give.
I guess I'm just a very emotional person. I just enjoed the emotion part.
It's fine. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Really no, not him.
There are parts here where. You're good. There are parts here where
I remember that part of the movie.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. You're good. No, there are parts here where like that, I see that it's trying to go for the heart, just doesn't hit me. You know what I mean? Like it's trying, it just doesn't work, doesn't connect. And that's, I guess, where this movie is an advantage upon the last one, but I just think they're both very bad, very terrible, very embarrassing. That's honestly, I hate to say it that way, but to me, they're just both very embarrassing outings of this franchise. Like, 3 was bad. Jurassic Park 3 was a bad movie, but it was entertaining, to say the least.
It was more entertaining than the second one, I can tell you that for sure.
No, I mean like Jurassic Park 3, not Jurassic World.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like to me, that's like, it's bad, but it's.
What, Jurassic Park 3?
It's bad, but it still stays bad within that simplicity. To me, like, that's like a movie that was trying to make a Jurassic Park movie, at least when I watched Jurassic Park 3, as opposed to Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. I'm watching these and they don't even feel like they're trying to be a Jurassic Park movie at all. They just feel like they're just, I don't know, they've lost the spirit, they've lost the touch, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I don't know, man. I'm saddened by that because I wanted to like this movie. I thought the trailers were great. You know, this is one of those.
Oh yeah, the trailer for Jurassic World Dominion had me so hyped for this movie.
Yeah, honestly. I thought the trailers were great, and then here we are.
But I think it's also because they used the best scenes that were in the movie in the trailer.
Yeah,
the scene with Bryce Dallas Howard and Bryce Howard. I can't say her name. Her in the swamp. I mean, the part where Ellen sees Dr. Grant in the camp. I mean, really all the best scenes in this movie were used in the trailer, which is why I think that the trailer was just so good, but then the movie kind of just disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the trailer, I think a lot of the problem is a lot of those really cool things in the trailer didn't even happen to like the last 40 minutes of this 2 hour and 40 minute movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it did.
It was 2 hours and 27, not 2 hours 40, but
it was 27.
Yeah.
Felt like 3. So it was too long, this movie. It felt too long.
You said wow, it was 2 hours 27 and it felt long.
It felt long. There was so many parts. Again, when you go back to the Taken storyline, to me that just dragged the pacing.
Yeah, you see, I feel like that, like, as much as I like that whole scene, it could have been a lot shorter in my opinion. It could, the whole, the Bryce Howard Dallas and Lockwood's parts in the cabins, those could have been way shorter as well.
Yeah. They just dragged a lot of the time, and I shouldn't be bored in one of these movies. I mean,
you're not wrong. We could have done without a fucking biosyn in this movie. You could have all that time spent with the fucking bugs and shit. Yeah. You could have spent all that time with more dinosaurs, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on now.
Make more scenes like that swamp scene. You know what I'm saying? That's
exactly. That's what.
Yeah. Like, find a way to write these characters into situations that are more in tune with what that swamp scene was like. And then when you have that, then you can open it up to what the ending was at least trying to be, and I probably would have accepted that a lot more. Like, when the ending becomes this big, like, grand scale action thing, I probably could have accepted that a lot more, given the fact that it led into it with a really good pace. You know what I'm saying? With suspense and build, rather than just being what it was. And so that's where it fails for me miserably. And so there's that. But look, I'm not gonna be that guy. I know it's not easy to make a good movie. It's one of the hardest things you can do, is make a good movie.
Especially trying to base it off of other previous movies that have already been released.
Yeah, I'm not claiming it's easy. I'm just here to tell you my opinion.
I mean, shit. Look at Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Yeah, I mean, those movies were atrocious.
almost like them better than this, but I'll be real.
I'm not too sure about that, honestly. I'm not too
That's
sure
fine.
about that.
I think I really like those better than this, but I'd rather watch those. But at least there's cool lightsaber action in those. At least I got that out of that. And real good Star Wars philosophy from time to time. But
yeah, the midichlorians. I'm just kidding.
Jesus, don't get me started on the midichlorians. We ain't talking about the midichlorians today, pal. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they're in the dinosaurs, bro. We just talking about.
Yeah. We barely talked about locusts for good reason, and I'm not going to talk about midichlorians. So look, that's what was running through the veins of them. I'm assuming when they were doing that, but midichlorians. But
because they had the force.
That was what, as stupid and ridiculous as that one was, I'll give you that one. That was fun to watch. I actually enjoyed that. I thought there was something cool about that, but whatever. And that's the other thing about it is, before, when Chris Pratt, this is why the scene's so stupid and ridiculous. And again, I like this scene, but when Chris Pratt was doing that before, like, that really just worked on Blue. Now it apparently just works on any dinosaur. There's really no.
Well, because Blue is a dinosaur. So, like, it makes sense it's going to work on really any dinosaur.
Yeah, but why didn't he do that in any of the other movies if it works that easily? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it works that easily with dinosaurs, backing them off, why didn't that happen any other time? That's my point. Like,
that's fair.
This
that's
movie
fair.
It does no good job at explaining anything. So there's that.
Maybe, and that's again, this might just be because we're 4 years in the future, but maybe in those 4 years he was doing it to other dinosaurs. He found out that it does work on other dinosaurs.
You know what? Maybe
we just missed so much in this 4 year time jump that like all the stuff that you're questioning could have actually happened in these 4 years.
I'll tell you,
we just missed it all.
Make a movie that takes place in that 4 year time span. Maybe I'll accept this one better. That explains all this stuff, because I really am questioning a lot of things that you seem to explain away with that 4 year time span. Make that movie or TV series or whatever.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll do it, bro. Let's go. I got you.
You got it.
Yeah. It's gonna be Jurassic World 2.5.
I'll take it. I'll watch it.
It's gonna be called Jurassic World 2.5 Age. I'm just kidding.
I'll watch it.
Jurassic World Age. That's what it's gonna be called.
I'll watch it. When's it on? But
and you know what? Give me like 3-4 years and I'll get you it.
All right. All right, guys. That's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Might as well be Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom Part 2.
Might as well be the same thing. But it's Dominion. Made a couple little improvements, and presumably the finale to the Jurassic World franchise. You heard it, folks. Jose Espinal liked this movie a lot with some issues, and I really didn't like this movie with a lot of issues.
Upon talking to you, I wouldn't use the word a lot. I would say that I enjoyed the movie.
You're in the middle now. Okay.
Yeah. I'm in the middle. I mean, I liked it more than Fallen Kingdom for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But it's just nowhere really in comparison to the first one.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Well, far be it from me to want to suck out your enjoyment. Trust me.
I know the thing upon talking with you, I mean, I still enjoyed the movie. I'm just not in the a lot anymore. I'm just in like, I enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. No, fair enough. All right, guys. Look, that's it. That's the opinion. That's the consensus. Jose, where can people find you before we take off here?
You can find me on all socials at Type 1 Latino, all lowercase all together, and on stereo.
All right, guys, you can find me on Twitter you can find me at Dom_Martino_, or you can find me on Instagram, Dom_Martino_official, or you can find me not watching whatever next installment of this movie they come out. Or this franchise. All right. Follow the Anorex pages at Anorex Official on Twitter and Instagram. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit the bell for notifications. I've been Dom Martino. That's been Jose Espinal. Follow him too. We're going to take off. Talk to you guys later.